Your DNA is not your destiny. Hi, I'm Lori Blue, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. What if you could reverse your prediabetes, reverse your risk for diabetes, and even put diabetes into remission? Well, you can, because the DNA is not your destiny. It's not set in stone. It's actually something that can be reversed and corrected with lifestyle practices. So there's this saying that goes around that your body or the gun is your DNA and the environment is the trigger. So how that works is you might have DNA that are the thrifty genes, the DNA that becomes obese, the DNA that actually causes you to be more diabetic. I do. But I practiced not pulling that trigger. I actually stopped pulling the trigger so that I could correct my metabolism, reverse my risk for prediabetes, reverse prediabetes, and reverse my risk for diabetes. And that's what we can do, because we can be the architect of our body. Your DNA is a blueprint. It doesn't have to be expressed. You don't have to actually design it the way it is showing. You get to make the changes and recreate the health that you want to have by correcting blood sugar balance and resetting your metabolism with food as information to your body. So as I mentioned, I've reversed my prediabetes and diabetes and all the health conditions in my body. And so as we get older and over 50, I'm 61, we actually our body starts to break down because of environment, the food that we eat, and your body's just wearing out as we get to this age. And so a lot of the diseases of aging, actually 9 out of 10, are considered lifestyle diseases that are reversible, preventable, and you don't have to choose to have them, but you have to choose what you're going to eat. And when you use food as information, we can correct a lot of these problems that are because of environment. And one of the ways to do that is to do a low-carb diet and have low-carb nutrition. That was the only thing that saved me. And so I know this can work because I did it, and I'm seeing case studies of other people who are doing it as well. People on the low carb nutrition side of things, not the allopathic medicine. We look at things as functional health. And what can we do to prevent disease in our body? What can we do to correct the health of our body? When you look at food as functional food, as medicine to your body, what can you do to correct what's going on in your body? This is what we want to look at. So if your DNA is not your destiny, and you want to recreate the health that you have so that you don't have to live at the medical center, that you don't have to give your money to the medical center, that you don't have to live in a nursing home, but what if you could reverse some of these problems? And you can, I'm not saying you can't. What if you can reverse these problems that you're starting to have before they get worse? So it always starts with blood sugar dysregulation, so insulin resistance. And then if you're getting body fat, you're more insulin resistant. So that's where you start to improve it. How can we manage insulin resistance? A lot of what insulin resistance is basically a survival switch. So I call it the sugar switch, and I turn my sugar switch off, and you can turn yours off too. But what happens when it's turned on is your disease switch is turned on as well. So this survival switch, when we eat sweets, when we eat carbohydrates, when we eat refined carbohydrates, ultra-processed foods, the switch is on. And we are biologically urged to go out and seek food. So you will go out and seek the food that you're craving and the food that you want to eat because it's highly palatable and you want to eat it. But when we take the sugar out and the ultra-processed foods out, we flip that sugar switch off, we flip the disease-causing genes off. And we get to then choose the food we eat to program our body, to program our DNA, practicing epigenetics, the expression of our DNA, so that we could get better, more vibrant health and actually thrive and have excellent health. Because that's what you want to do, and you can do it. This is what I call aging beautifully and adventurously in my program. I am the creator of the holistic low carb method, and my clients are using my lived experience, my education, and my process with my guidance to actually lose weight by finding out what's going on with their metabolism, running a metabolic analysis to find out where the symptoms are happening in your body. And once you're more aware of it, it's easier to make the changes that you want to make. When you decide that you have a vision and a goal and you want to get there, you can do that more easily. But do you have the proven process in a direction to go and someone to help guide you? Like if you were going on a trip to Europe, say I'm in America, I'm in Los Angeles, I would need a tour guide for Europe. So if you need a tour guide, what are you going to do? You're going to hire someone so that you don't waste time, end up going too many wrong directions, and waste your money and time on a vacation so that you're frustrated instead of having a good time. Same thing with diet and lifestyle changes. You don't want to be frustrated. You want to make it easy for yourself. You want to collapse the time it takes to get healthy. And so when you've got a guide like me, an FDN practitioner that actually has the lived experience of reversing prediabetes, having helped clients reverse the risk of diabetes and get their life back on track, that's when you get to succeed. That's when you get your life back on track. I lost my elder sister to obesity, 400 pounds, and metabolic chaos in her body from blood sugar dysregulation, from sugar in her diet. It's the saddest thing, and nobody should have to suffer like that. I had to suffer the diseases of aging that I had, and I started as a child having depression, weighing 200 pounds, and having to learn how to deal with all of that, and really starting to live diets at about 35. I've been living diets my whole life, but my official weight loss started when I was in my mid-30s, when I reached my highest of 225 pounds. I had to decide then and there that I was going to do something to make the changes. So I got on into the books. I got on the exercise bike. I started endless walking. I wanted to figure out how I was going to lose the weight. I would lose weight and I would gain it all back. But the idea of actually finding your carb code and unlocking your weight loss and reversing your diabetes naturally can happen, but you have to figure out how to break that carb cycle. It's not always easy because food is addictive, sugar is addictive, and yes, food is food, but food is information to your body. And so if you're having something that's raising your blood sugar all the time, you're damaging your body and you're getting to the point where you're pre-diabetic, and over 10 to 20 years, you will develop diabetes. And then diabetes 3, which is Alzheimer's, is dementia. That is all hand in hand because of insulin resistance, which is reversible and controllable by the food we eat. Step back and look at the 1950s and earlier. They were eating 3 meals a day. They had some sugar, they had some grains, but they didn't only eat that. They did not have vegetable seed oils. They did not have a huge amount of processed foods. They ate 3 meals a day. They had their protein, they had their vegetables, and they had their fat, and they had some fruit, and they had some dessert, but it wasn't immense amounts of food quality that we have today, which is mostly ultra-processed food. And so your body can be starving at the cellular level. Most of my clients are having digestive dysfunction, in pain all the time, diverticulitis, blood sugar dysregulation, prediabetes, cognitive decline. A lot of things are happening. Not being able to stay on a diet because you don't understand what exactly is happening in the body and you don't have anybody to guide you. So when you get somebody to guide you in the process of a low-carb diet, that's when the success starts to happen. So just keep in mind, your DNA is not your destiny. You do not have to have diabetes, and you can put it in remission. Dare I say, reverse it. You don't have to have medication for it when you get your blood sugar under control. Now, if your pancreas is damaged, you may still have to have some support, but you're not going to know until you get there. But you can still get your body in better shape. You won't know until you get there, until you start doing the work. But one of the things that's never going to work is having prediabetes, continuing to eat carbohydrates, ultra-processed carbohydrates that are causing a sugar load on your body. If your triglycerides are well up over 125, some people are into 200 and 300 or higher. Triglycerides that high means you have blood sugar dysregulation and you're storing sugar as fat and you're getting fat for winter. You're getting fat because your survival switch is flipped on, your metabolic disease switch is turned on, And your body doesn't know that there's food everywhere around you. It's trying to protect you from starvation so that you could survive the winter. So what you need to do is flip the sugar switch off, get ready for winter by getting into a low-carb diet and being more in ketosis to actually burn up all the sugar that's stored in your body, all the fat that's stored in the muscle around the heart and in the liver. Have you been told you have fatty liver? Have you been told you're pre-diabetic? Have you been told you had PCOS? Those are symptoms that I had to correct, and you can correct them too. I had asthma. I had depression. It's all contributed to inflammation in the intestinal tract, in our body, leaky brain, leaky gut. And if you've got gingivitis, that's leaky gums. It's all connected to too much sugar in the body. And when I say too much sugar in the body, I'm talking about carbohydrates that break down into glucose. That is the sugar load on your body, the glucose load on your body. And your body can only store so much sugar at a time. It can only burn so much up. So it has to create those triglycerides, and it has to create then LDL boats to transport those triglycerides into storage. So we just want to turn the process off. When we turn the process off, you get back control of your body. You're the architect of your body. You stop pulling that trigger of your DNA, and you get to recreate the life that you want to have. It's like, what if you could have 10 to 20 more years of active quality life? I created that for myself. I'm having the best life that I've ever had because I turned off and stopped expressing my DNA. That is the thrifty gene, the diabetic gene. I don't express it, so I'm not diabetic. As simple as that. Food is that powerful. And it's a choice, but sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. And so what you need to do is get with somebody who knows and understands the process, who's been through it. A practitioner like me with functional health nutrition, education, to help guide you where you want to go. That's the power of working with somebody who can help you reach your vision and your goal. But you have to make a vision and you have to make a goal, because I can only work with people who are in action and ready to do this process. Because FDNs are really good about helping guide you where you need to go and telling you what you need to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you know what you need to do. I'm going to run a metabolic analysis, find out where your pain symptoms are, and show it to you so you could see what's happening in your body. I'm not going to address any one thing. I'm going to support you, the whole body. That's what FDN does. We support the whole body. Support you to get back into homeostasis. And then I'm going to run your food sensitivity test to find out what's causing inflammation that's keeping your leaky gut turned on. And then we're going to eliminate those foods for 3 to 6 months, and then you can reintroduce them and see what's going on. Now, if you're sensitive to wheat and you want to follow a functional health process, don't ever bring the wheat back. The best thing you could do for yourself is go gluten-free. You won't find a single functional health nutrition practitioner or nutritionist that's eating wheat, because we all know how damaging it is. And so that's something to think about. And then you run a gut test and you run a hormone test. And then there's a permeability test. And there's also a metabolic panel. When we run all of this, I get to see so much of what's going on in your body so I can help you target it. So I can help you turn off your disease-causing switch. We can get you to stop expressing your DNA specifically and get your body healthy to lose the weight. And even though this is something that I focus on as a weight loss and diabetes solution, it's not just weight loss. You have to get healthy to lose the weight. And so this is a 2-for-1 thing. And that's why I call it a weight loss and diabetes solution. I don't just focus on weight loss. That's not my goal. You don't have to count macros if you don't want to, only if it's going to support your needs when you're at that action point that's needed. If we need to get you to drop the weight and you're already getting healthy. But how would you like to turn off all that pain of digestion, all that pain and correct dysbiosis and diverticulitis? All of those are caused because of high carbohydrate diet and not the right fat for your body. Did you know animal fats can be actually anti-inflammatory in your intestinal tract? And they can create short-chain fatty acids to help create a healthier, skinny bacteria environment for your body. But as long as you eat the fat bacteria, the fatty, sugary foods that cause your body to get fat, those are the foods that create Firmicutes, your fat bacteria. bacteria. We want to switch that around, have less Firmicutes and higher Bacteroides. And so we have to balance your gut. And so we need to see what's going on in there, and we need to fix your digestion. But this is what's so exciting, because the DNA is not your destiny. It's no longer mine. I flipped my sugar switch off, and I know you can do it too. And so if that's something you're struggling with and you want to get more support, I can help you. I can take you there, but I can only help you if you're in action and you want to set that goal and set that vision. And so get on a call with me and I will help you set that vision. I will let you know how I'm going to support you. And then we're going to take it from there and see if you're ready. If you're a 9 or a 10, then I can work with you. If you're not a 9 or a 10, then I can't work with you. Because you have to be ready. But if you are ready, I will take you there. I'm your guide to help you reverse your metabolic dysfunction, to reset your blood sugar regulation, and to reverse that insulin resistance so you can stop the hunger, stop the cravings, get your brain energy back, get rid of that brain fog, and recreate the body that you want to live in, and find that joy of life again. What if you could get that joy back? You can. What I see from my clients when they walk away from me is that smile of contentment, and they know they've got this. Never going to eat that crap again, is what I hear all the time. Sugar is the devil. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is the best way of eating. They've got it. They understand it. And one person said, oh my God, we're feeding our kids poison. Yeah, if you think about it. But that light bulb has to go off. You have to look at that gun as your DNA. And you've got that your finger on the trigger. Are you going to express that DNA, or are you going to take your finger off that gun, put that gun aside, and practice epigenetics and look at food as information to your body and follow the low-carb bridge? That's my concept. You can break your carb cycle and drop 20 pounds. And you can make food rules. And you can actually start making everything low-carb before the holidays, before that sugar hits your tongue. Don't eat that Halloween candy because it will sabotage you. It's going to hijack your taste buds. And it's going to feel good like a drug. It's like a drug. It gets into your drug receptors. These are dopamine hits, but you could still eat things that make you feel good. I do. I just made keto brownies, low-carb brownies. I made them with almond flour, butter, cocoa, vanilla, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and eggs. And it's not going to damage my body or turn my sugar switch on. And I made it with allulose, and it actually turned off my appetite. Did you know you can use allulose like GLP-1, and it could actually turn off your appetite? Well, I just noticed that with these brownies. I just decided to eat, I had 5 of these little squares. They were kind of gooey. I took the ones in the middle because I undercooked it. And I just decided I was going to eat them all and just satisfy my body. I'm completely full. I didn't eat any sugar, but I was completely satisfied. I haven't had sugar in 8 years. Now, the only sugar I might have would be if somebody gave me some GABA or L-theanine tablets that have a tiny bit of sugar in them, because I like L-theanine and I like GABA because they help you relax your stress. So if you could find those, I like the ones from Natural Factors. They do have a little tiny bit of sugar, but they're actually very medicinal and they can work well. But other than that, I choose not to eat sugar because I choose to have my health. And I do have a monthly webinar, Slender Over 50, The Holistic Path to Healthy Aging. This is where you're going to learn how to break your carb cycle and drop 20 pounds, find your weight loss and diabetes solution. So the next one, if you catch this in time, is going to be November 3rd at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday, Pacific time. And I'm going to be there to help guide you and inspire you and motivate you. So get on my email list. I'm always out there ready to support you and let you see who I am, who I've become, and how I can support you more. Because this is my mission. This is my pain to purpose and my passion. I know you can make these changes, and sometimes I understand too that it can be hard. It took me a long time. It took me most of my life. I didn't succeed in starting this until I was 53. And it was till I was 60 that I lost all 100 pounds. And I'm keeping it off and getting stronger and building muscle in my 60s. And you may be able to hear this dog, but I apologize for that. Forgot to close my window before we started. But I know you can do this too. But you need to get that vision in your head. What is it that you want in the next 5 years? The next year? In 6 months. Did you know you could reset your metabolism and lose 20 pounds permanently in the next 6 months working with me? And I don't say that lightly, because that is the average amount of weight that my clients lose when they reset their metabolism and break their carb cycle. Because this is the process that works for women over 50. And I want to hand it to you. But you have to be ready and you have to be in action. So I do have space for 3 women to join my program over the next couple of months. And I have a fall special. My fall special, if you catch this before December 31st, is you get all 6 labs with my 6-month program with a pay in full. And that is a $1,500 value. And I'm also offering the first 14 days of a CGM. So get you started to see if that's something you're interested in. And I'm probably going to give you a full month of that. And I have ways to get you to test your sleep apnea, to see if there's any sleep apnea. See, with functional diagnostic nutrition, I help you and guide you into a low-carb diet, because that's my method. That's my holistic low-carb method. But with FDN, and even with my own process that I developed with the holistic low-carb method, you have to look at your stress and your rest. You have to look at your movement and your exercise. And we have to look at circadian balance. All of that comes into play. So digestion is huge. Gut health is huge. Hormones are huge. But we have to look at stress. Stress management. Getting sunlight and grounding was 20 pounds of weight loss for me. Digestion was 15 pounds. And so diet isn't going to solve everything alone. Even if you're mostly animal-based, there's ways that we can fix your body to get it to the point where you can then just rely on food, perhaps, if that's your choice. However, what if your digestion's not working? You have low bile acid. I've seen it in tests with people who have been carnivore. Low bile acid, digestive dysfunction, not enough fat in the body, and too low cholesterol can make a difference. So when you fix your digestion, find out what's going on in your body, and you might need some supplements. So yes, I do run a supplement protocol specifically targeted to what your body needs. I use them for myself. I won't go a day without magnesium. I use potassium, and I make my own salt sole. There are some things that I have to have, and you might need them too. So when we run your hair tissue mineral analysis, we'll find out what minerals you're deficient in, and what your calcium and magnesium look like, how much metal is built up in your body. All of those things are going to come out when we run all 6 labs. And that's included in your package. What do you think? Just DM me, get on a call. The way you see me here is how I'll be on that call. And I'm going to start coaching you from the get-go, because I want you to be successful and I want you to have results in advance. Because that's how I am. I'm not trying to do any hard sells. I'm only looking for the women who are ready to have transformation, ready to be in action this year. And if you want to get on my calendar before January 1st, because I can only take 6 women at a time. And so if you want to be one of those women, let me know. Get on my calendar and let's get you started. You just have to put in a down payment. All right. So just DM me, let me know, or click the link for my Health Adventure Strategy call, which will be in the description below. I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget, don't pull that trigger. Food is medicine to your body, and your DNA, you're not stuck with it. If I could reverse my diabetes risk, you can reverse yours. My brother reversed his, and my sister's now doing it. You've got this, and I've got you. Take care.